What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about Valve. There's some stuff going on with the Verge, Valve, and their game Deadlock, so we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the Guinness Book of World Records for connecting over 400-plus game consoles to one TV. We're going to show you this guy's house and what he has set up, okay? We're going to talk about this. This story came out a couple weeks ago. It flew by my radar, but I got to talk about it because it's so stupid, okay? It's Epic game devs aren't happy about Fortnite's Cybertruck in the game, so we're going to talk about that as well. And then we're also going to talk about Overwatch players are already crying out for the return of Marvel's Rivals. If you guys like what I do here, we just read news stories, give you my opinions, thoughts, and we give you entertainment for the next 2.5 to 3 hours of your morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We are trying to get to 3,000 subscribers, so if you are watching this and you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Help us get to that goal. We do appreciate you very much. What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Roadkill? What's going on, Jason? What's going on, Big Mo? Who am I missing? Anybody? What's going on, Sarge? There's a bunch of stuff going on. Now, I wanna preempt this with, I just want to let people know, right? I am not a journalist. This is not a news station where I'm doing sources and I have contacts behind. This is 100% pure entertainment, reading other people's news and stupidity on the internet. Okay, so we're gonna start off. With the Epic story. Okay, we're gonna start off. What's going on, Neutralizer? We're gonna start off with the Epic story. Okay, it's not an epic story; it's an epic story. Oh, and by the way, the thumbnail that you see up here, I put 5 thumbnails in our Discord. If you are part of our Discord, if you're a member and you're part of our Discord, I put them in the feedback section. I put 5 pictures there. Keep voting through the day because I can change the thumbnail for the video later. But obviously, this is the one that we're sticking with for right now. But go vote. I put 5 up there. Let me know which one you like the best. And yeah, be a part of this community. Sarge says, "Don't worry, 30. Journalists aren't journalists. You're fine. I know. Okay. So let's start off with this one. All right, let's start off with this one. So even Epic game devs aren't happy about the Fortnite Cybertruck. What could this mean? We all know that people don't like Elon Musk. We know that people are jealous or mad at him because he's got a lot of money or because he bought Twitter and fired 75% of the force and it's still running. We know that people don't want to advertise for it, and we know there's a lot of political stuff involved with it, but this is just kind of stupid, okay? So Epic chose to collaborate with Tesla and put Cybertruck in Fortnite. Now, mind you, Epic, the company that likes money, that's a corporation that a lot of people work for corporations that think that corporations are bad, but yet they work for those corporations. Double standard. Hypocrites, you know. So with Tesla and put Cybertruck in Fortnite has been controversial with fans. But it also turns out it's even some Epic game developers aren't happy about it either. Okay. So Fortnite Wrecked Season, okay, has already been one of the most controversial opinion-splitting updates of the game has ever had thanks to its focus on cars. But that got a whole lot worse this month with the addition of the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, considering Elon Musk's controversial outspoken beliefs, fans really weren't happy to see that his products joined the game's already stacked lineup of crossovers. Okay, as it turns out, though, Fortnite players aren't the only ones who aren't pleased with the Epic's decision to shine a spotlight on Elon Musk and the Cybertruck. Over the past few days, several Fortnite developers have made their feelings about the collaboration clear on Twitter. And here are all about the negative, as you expect. Okay. One of the most recent comments comes from the Fortnite UI artist, Toby Spearing, who shared the Cybertruck trailer and said, "I did the request UI art for this. And while I'm proud of the work, okay, the team did, we were very disappointed. We choose to collaborate with this product / company. Okay, and it's clear that Spearings and his team didn't want to work on the adding this strange-looking car to the game, but had no choice in the matter. Do we see how idiotic and stupid this is? Right? Do we see how idiotic and stupid it is? The person that hates Elon Musk, the person that hates that his company worked with them in collaboration, the person that got paid a job by the guy who he's writing on the platform and showing that he doesn't like Elon Musk on the platform that Elon Musk owns, okay? Talking about that he got money from a company paying for his job so he could do the work is fucking asinine, okay? It is so stupid, okay? By so many retarded levels, okay? That the person's like, I'm so disappointed that I had to work with this company, but I sure did it because the company that works for likes money, and I like money too, and I had to do the job for this company I didn't want to do, but I'm going to bitch about it on the platform that I don't like the guy, but I'm still using his platform to speak my mind. Bro. Freaking retarded, okay? I know a lot of people don't like using the word retarded, but I use it where it's needed, okay? Like, amazing. This sentiment is also echoed by Fortnite festival producer Kyle Wynn, who reminded players that they should vote with their wallets and that their reactions on social media is tangible factor for Epic. Wynn also called the Cybertruck looking fucking silly before calling Elon Musk a piece of shit. Again, on the platform that the man owns, that they're using to speak the minds in freedom of speech. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, remember, vote with your wallets. Okay, so Wynn and Spearing responded to just the tip of the iceberg as Fortnite executive producer Robbie Williams also took to Twitter to share his thoughts on the matter before reminding players that his tweets represent his own opinions. William asked anyone who sees the Cybertruck to destroy it on sight before signing off with a middle finger emoji. It doesn't get any more stupid than this. Okay, again, these are employees of a company who the company took money from the person that they hate, that they are now getting money paid for their paycheck. I wonder if they're doing this pro bono and they don't want to take the money that Elon Musk paid Epic, that Epic is now paying them to make something for the thing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay. And let's continue. He says, well, I'm sure are some other Fortnite collaborations that the developers are less enthusiastic about, okay, or enthused about. There's never been so much backlash and open disagree for Epic Games developers than there is in Cybertruck. Here's hoping the Epic takes its account for the next big crossover. Okay. These people are clowns. They're clowns, okay? Again, they're so delusional that they don't even actually realize what they've done. Okay, or what they're doing. If they're so upset about it, okay, then why did you work on it? You could have easily said, I don't want to work on it because I don't like the person. Nope, but they go to the platform the person actually owns, who gives freedom of speech, and they say what they want, which is amazing, but they hate that person. They hate that person that gives them the opportunity to say whatever they want. Okay, they're also working for a company in a country that lets them work and do stuff where other people don't get those benefits from around the world. Okay, but these three clowns, these three epic clowns, that's right, epic clowns, come out and say certain things like this, which is just funny to me. Okay, if you don't like it, then stand by what you believe. If you didn't like working on it, but then you took the job anyway because, you know, apparently you don't have that big of morals and integrity and whatnot, but you have enough to speak out your mind to say, I hate this guy. I hate this truck. Shoot it on sight. I think it's great. I think if you're a Fortnite player, this is fantastic. If you're looking for a lot of kills, get into a Cybertruck, because then everybody and their mother will come after you because the Epic developers told them to. Okay, and you'll have a lot of kills. You'll have a lot of kill streaks or whatever else you want to get in Fortnite. You'll have the biggest one, and you'll probably win, and laugh about it as you're doing it. Right? This is absolutely hilarious. I had to speak about it because these people are. Oh, sorry. These people are just so ridiculous when it comes to it. Let me read what you guys are saying about this. Right? But these are just my thoughts, by the way. These are just my thoughts. Okay. I don't know if they're actually retarded. You know, again, just my thoughts. Travis says, this is Randy Pitchford levels of stupid 30. Yeah. 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 Sarge says, no, they're mad that Elon, because he fired 75% of Twitter and proved that they weren't necessary to run the company. So they're crying. I don't know if they're crying about that, Sarge, but who knows? Jason says, Elon's a bit of a hypocrite, but some people take their dislikes for him too far. Hey, say what you want, Jason, and that's the beautiful part about this, right? Say what you want, and not all of you guys are from America, and you know, we have freedom of speech here in America, right? And he believes in the freedom of speech, and that's why he bought the platform that he bought to let people say what they want to say. So obviously, everyone at some point in time can be a hypocrite, okay? But the sheer audacity of these people, okay, for these three specific people from Epic is just, it's hilarious. Let's go on, Roadkill. But if Trump, are you on said that about somebody, they'd be trying to sue him. Oh, you're saying if Trump said that they're retarded. Yeah, probably. Absolutely. Travis says, I say go for it. After the more he bashes Elon, the more we know Elon is a good person. Jason says, stunning and brave. Stunning and brave. What did the Cybertruck do to hurt you? Yeah, show me on the car where it hurt you. All right, Kuda Papa. Have a good one. What's going on, Robert Jones? Travis says, these people are so stupid, they make Randy Pitchford look smart. Like you took the money and then bitched. Sorry, but you can't rob the bank and then go back to the bank and then invest there. You like that, Sarge? You like that? Epic clowns. the double pun there. It's fantastic. Yeah, this is the first story, Robert. Dolphin says, imagine being offended by a car. Oh, no. The car is just the catalyst, okay? Is the thing Elon and his thought process or his political alignment or whatever it is, it's what's driving the factor of these people. It has nothing to do with the Cybertruck. We know that, right, Dolphin? It has actually nothing to do with the car and everything to do about what Elon has done, right? Sarge said it last week on the show, right? 50 years NASA couldn't get a fucking rocket. They just couldn't figure it out. Elon Musk, 5 years, rocket goes up, rocket comes back down. Rocket goes up, rocket comes back down. But he is an absolute, he's a madman. He's done terrible things, right? We could go way deeper into all this stuff, but we'll just keep it with the Cybertruck and Fortnite. Robert Jones says, I'm offended by the Cybertruck. It's ugly as hell in person. We have a couple of them by us. It's cool looking. Here's the thing, though, Jones. What I find interesting is that's the way cars will probably look like 40, 50 years from now. Right? And it looks so awkward in a world where all the cars look like the way they do. And then he made the Cybertruck. And that is why I think why it sticks out like a sore thumb. What's going on, Roy? Good morning. Dolphin says, joke's on them. My 6-year-old thinks that Fortnite invented the Cybertruck, and that will ever be in the history books. Dolphin. That's right. Just like John Wick. John Wick is from Fortnite. Darth Vader's from Fortnite. All of these characters are originally from Fortnite. Sarge says we're desperately hanging on to freedom of speech. Oh, yeah. In other countries, there's a guy who There's a guy who got sentenced to 20 months in prison for insulting somebody over in England. Same country, someone took a machete and killed somebody, and they got 6 months. Go figure. Go figure. Machetes don't kill people. Insults do. Roadkill says if you're in the UK, didn't say anything, they're going to go lock you up. That's right. That's right. Rogan says maybe they tried to buy the Cybertruck and it just wasn't cool enough to get one. So now they're really mad. Maybe. Maybe that's what it is, Roadkill. Maybe that's what it is. If he's such a free speech advocate, then why does he ban people who post old pictures with him and Epstein? You would have to ask him that. Like I said, Jason, everyone's a hypocrite. Still stands the fact that you can say what you want on a platform the guy owns. Freedom of speech and a picture are two different things. You understand that, right? You understand that, right? Freedom of speech and posting a picture of somebody are two different things. Now, if he posted a picture and you want to say what you want about that picture, you're more than welcome to do that. Prosy says, the Cybertruck is a trash piece of equipment. Oh, yeah. In real life, they're having massive problems. There's a recall with the Cybertruck. But we're talking about a fucking video game. We're talking about a car and 3 developers that created it and are so mad about it, they had to talk shit on Twitter, the platform of the thing that the guy that they don't like, which is just funny. Just funny. Prosy says the guy at my company has already taken it back already. Well, he's got his money back. Sarge says if the Cybertruck ran on water, expelled gold bars, they wouldn't find a way to ban them from the roads. Oh, no. Let's see. Happens all the time. Americans go to other countries and find out the hard way. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They think that the freedom of speech is everywhere, but that's not what it is. Roadkill with the gifted membership. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Did that really happen in the UK? So real question is because of what happens when your entire country is in. Yeah, no, it actually did happen, Travis. Yeah, someone just got banned. Someone just got put to sentence for 20 months for insults. Insults, not threats. Insults. But someone killed I think a 6-month-old with a machete, and they got 6 months. The world's upside down. Roadkill says they're actually there's actually this thing going around like saying that the raccoons are trying to break into the Cybertruck because they think they're dumpsters. Oh man, that's fantastic. Now, see, if I was Epic, I would put that in the game. See, if they really hated it and that was actually happening, Roadkill, I would animate a raccoon so when you find a Cybertruck in the game, if you park it there too long, like there's raccoons on top of it. That would be hilarious. So that's the first story. 3 clowns from Epic. That's from July 26th. That wasn't even supposed to be. That's not a weekly story from today. But I just had to talk about it because it's absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right, the next story. The next story I want to talk about. Okay, we'll go to this Verge one. Now, obviously, because of the way my structure of my show is, okay, I heard bits and pieces of the story. Okay, we're gonna read a couple of articles here about The Verge, about Valve, Steam, and their new game, which is called Deadlock. Okay, now I don't know all the pieces, so we're just gonna read it all together. Okay, and then I'll give you my thoughts and stuff on this piece as well. Okay, now I do know it. This whole show this morning is about stupidity, hence why the thumbnail is like what's happening? What's happening? Okay. If you like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as low as $5. Lots of content, 2.5 to 3 hours a day, Monday through Thursday. We have more content here than most people have in their season passes. Putting that out there. Okay. So let's start off. Let's start off with this one. I think this one says more about what it is. Okay. Okay. This is what the heck is Valve doing with the informal Deadlock NDAs? Okay. So let's read on. Okay, it says, Valve, you doing okay, buddy? I know it's been a few years since the launch of a game, but did you remember how to announce a game? Okay, in the case that you haven't heard, Steam's platform owner Valve, the developer of Half-Life, Team Fortress, and Portal series, as well as Dota 2 and Artifact, is finally releasing a new game, a hero shooter called Deadlock. Or is it? The game was dug up through Steam's data mining and not officially announced, though it looked near completion. There was also a chance that Valve could pull and plug at and not launch it. Okay. So at some point, Valve invited players to a closed beta for Deadlock using a key Steam that allowed players to invite their friends, and invites, pro-life rated, so that they also coordinated to Steam's DB, and the game hit a peak of 18,000 concurrent players. Now, such invites or unreleased games normally come to varying NDAs, but as Verge Sean Holster discovered, Valve's only attempt to discourage sharing anything about the game was a menu screen saying, "Don't share info." When you open the client, when it propped up in the user, said, "Okay." Okay, so it said Holster navigated around the screen by pressing the escape key. After he wrote about the experience, Valve banned his account from matchmaking. Okay, so let me break it down for you, for those of you that are a little confused here. Okay, so one of the players from The Verge, one of the writers from Verge, got the code, went into the thing. A thing popped up on the screen and said, "Hey, do not share info. Do not talk about this in any way, shape, or form." And instead of hitting OK, he just backed out. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not how that works. That's not how that works. You either agree to it or don't agree to it. Now, if you don't agree to it, at this point, you've now decided that you're a scumbag and you're going to break information about this game, even though the thing that popped up on the screen said, "Don't do it." Now, obviously, it didn't say, "Do you agree or don't agree?" He just backed out, and then the screen. So that's Valve's problem that they have to do to get around it. But at the same time, he went on and decided to talk about the game. Even though he read, "Don't talk about the game." Nothing about the game. Okay? So now what the journalist has done, okay, is that he's decided to be a leaker. He decided to be a random person that basically doesn't hold the standards of what journalists are supposed to do. Just a person that put an article out there so they can get clicks is basically what has happened here. Okay. Now, Holster's banning tripped a red flag for me. Not just because relating against journalists pushing against the free press. I don't want to make this too big of a deal of this, but you're just getting banned from a game's matchmaking. But because the series of events indicates that Valve's market power might be getting out of hand. Now, this is, from this person's point of view, is insane. Okay. Okay, let me read that again to you. Okay. Holster's banning tripped a red flag for this writer from what company is this? From the game developer, or from the Informa? Okay. Where he says it tripped the red flag for him because now that they're basically that they're overstepping their boundaries of what Valve is supposed to do, right? And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so he says, I don't want to take this too big of a deal, but it's just getting banned from a gaming matchmaking. But because the series of events indicates Valve's market power might be getting out of hand. Is it a monopoly? I don't know. But because Valve owns and operates Steam, the platform is described or distributes Deadlock, and it's able to market its game in a way that no other developer or publisher can. Okay? So now he's saying, well, Valve's not allowed to do this. Is this a monopoly? Because they own Steam, and they're inviting people out there. They give codes for people to test the game, okay? They're not charging anything. They're not doing anything. It's a test. They tell you not to talk about it. It was a secret game, okay? Even though there's 18,000 people playing. Apparently, those 17,999 people kept their mouths shut, and this one reporter could not, okay? So let's continue here, okay? It says, so what other publishers can roll out a game in this manner, okay? Let's step through the stages of Valve's Deadlock rollout. Valve owns Steam. The platform is distributing its own games on it, and it funds the development of new games and revenue from Steam and existing titles. When Valve releases any game, it competes against other games on the Steam marketplace. Valve's marketer power is checked by how many games it can deliver, the quality of them, the competitors, the ability, the decision to launch on other platforms. Okay, Valve, like other developers, decided to do a closed beta for Deadlock. Unlike most other developers, it has not announced the game yet. This closed beta is to run with an invite-based system that is very open, where the players can invite others. Valve has deliberately given up control over precisely who joins the playtest because, for whatever reason, this fits into the strategy. Now, Valve could also have legally controlled who also allows to discuss Deadlock and under the conditions by requiring the sign of the NDA and some equivalent triggered in-game. It did not because of reasons I do not know, and this is fit into the strategy. Now, what he's saying there is maybe this was done on purpose, okay? Maybe putting this out there, having people waiting for someone to leak it, and now because someone leaked it, now they have more advertisement for the game that now it's secret, so now people are like, well, I want to know what this Deadlock game is. And now there's more people interested in the actual game than they were if they did it the normal way, right? Plausible. Okay? So already we are in a position most, if not all, developers and publishers cannot afford to operate in a tightly controlled information about the game. It says key to financial success. Valve has an outsized amount of financial stability to endure any loss of revenue that could have come from the early leak of Deadlock. Now, the closest example of another publisher trying to strategize I can think of is the Respawn Entertainment for Electric Arts revved up the launch of Apex Legends and invited a bunch of press influencers to LA to play the game before it launched, and during this test, they required press to sign NDAs, or at least agree to embargoes, and never learned specific terms. Now we enter into a more uncharted territory. Valve has a place of game on Steam that's also announced and has invited people to play it. Not only to invite them to play it, but they invited their friends to play it. Okay? This is where Valve doesn't just have the market capacity it's other companies don't have. It explicitly benefits from this position. The company is not making money off of Deadlock, but the beta, this has also enticed people to one day spend money on Deadlock to a Valve benefiting from the strategy, as many other companies do. So I'm not noting that here is the beginning of the unusual position. Here's the nail in the coffin for me, that the Valve moves flex in the market power, and the Valve gets people to share invites for Deadlock, and it has potential of effectively creating new users for all of Steam. That's true. That's a good outlook, right? They did this where like, hey, this is a good game. They put it out there, and more people come on Steam. Very plausible. Very plausible. Some people playing Deadlock may invite their friends who have not played Steam before, and that's not a far-fetched concept. If people have only played Fortnite or Roblox, they have mostly been on console, or have pirated software, or not used Steam, whatever, or whatever. Valve's efforts here have potential to create new Steam accounts. Every new Steam account benefits Valve in some way, shape, financially, and if a player accepts the invite of Deadlock, makes the account, then buys a game from the competitor on Steam, and Valve gets a cut. If that player never spends a penny but hops into another free-to-play games on Steam, they enter into the ecosystem, which we'd always talk about, right? Get them in the ecosystem. That leads up to another player spending money in the game, which Valve gets a cut from. In the bigger picture, Valve relies on other companies to market Steam for it, because they're on the ones that say so. So if you want to buy a game, join Steam. Or if you want to buy our game, join Steam. You get the product to do the marketing and discount compared to the competitors. And with this, we hit the NDAs. A point where I think Valve has badly abused its position. Valve did not require anyone to invited to play Deadlock to sign a legally actionable NDA or have them agree to the EULA, and posted a sign that did not even explicitly require the user to click I agree, something the EULA goes to great lengths to spell out to ensure their legality, even though if there's some judges or regulators or scrutinizing that. Imagine the warning to a document in a guard at the door, and the guard is named NDA or the EULA. And when in person asks to pass the threshold of the guard, and it says maybe pass the threshold, and if you agree to hit X and Y, and if you violate the agreement, Z will happen. The person who wants the access to across the door agrees or disagrees, and then the guard lets them in. Okay. Here, Valve has dropped the guard of the door, and who are the players asked to cross it says, don't tell anyone you crossed this door. And if the player asks what, it does not answer, and what will guard do? Now, will it bar you from entry? Will it punch you into the next Tuesday? Will they open the trap door and then fall you into the crocodiles by the crocodiles were friendly and they have the nice time with the crocodiles? Okay, this is getting out of hand. Okay. Then the person can walk past without saying okay to the guard, and this is the purpose of these documents, to create a condition so both parties understand the outcomes and can agree on somewhat equal footing to enter the contract together. But I have a question. If you physically read, that do not talk about this game, is that the first thing that you do is hit deny and then go write a story about it? There's little things that I get what this guy is saying. I get that he's saying that, well, they put up the wall, but they didn't really enforce the rule. But then when they do enforce the rule by banning you from it, they're like, well, I didn't know I was going to get banned. You talked about the game after reading the thing, do not talk about the game. Regardless if you agreed or not, you read it, you saw it, you seen it. But did you see it? But did you read it? Okay? If you read it, you saw it. And if you saw it, you understood it. And if you understood it, you shouldn't have done what you did. Okay? So Valve's menu is not an NDA, and this is not a EULA. When Holster wrote about the game, he did so with the explicit knowledge of what Valve's response would be. When journalists agree to embargoes or sign NDAs, we do so with the knowledge of what happens when they violate the agreement. Valve took action and banned him from matchmaking, and that is a slap on the wrist, but Holtz had no way of knowing it would also be entirely consequence. Did you read it? Did he see it? Did he say, and to himself go, well, I read it. It said, do not talk about this game. And he said, all right, I didn't have to hit okay. I'm going to go write a story about it. You see what I'm saying? If you know that you're doing something wrong and you continue doing it, just because an NDA wasn't signed, but you read it, do not speak of this game, and you're a journalist, and then you go write about the game, you did so knowing that something was going to happen. And now you're making a big deal of it because you got caught. You got banned for it. Okay? So, unlike any other game company in the marketplace, it did so without entering in an agreement in the first place. First of all, the agreement of any test, any alpha, beta, early access, any of the things that, it's already there. It's an early access. They tell you not to talk about the game. And if anyone knows this, it should be the actual journalist that plays games like this all the time. But I don't know. Maybe he's just like those Epic guys. Okay? So action like this scrutinize Valve's marketplace power. To date, we have been personally convinced by the lawsuits accusing Valve of operating a monopoly through Steam. And this is not to say that I think of 100% wrong. I just think as long as you can go buy a game on Xbox or PlayStation, I have a marketplace of choices. I can play another game on PC without ever opening up Steam, and another factor. In other words, I want to leave it to the courts of regulations to figure out, and I want the writer, not a legal expert. Okay, Valve's behavior with the rollout of Deadlock has shifted my thinking. Some of the lawsuits against Valve has revealed details about how it encourages developers to maintain price parity across platforms, but also, again, I'm not the expert in whatever is considered price fixing. Okay, so we'll leave it there with this person's article. Okay. But now we're going to go to the next article. Okay. But before we get to that, I want to go to what you guys are saying in chat here. Okay. Ron says, never tell your darkest secrets to the Verge. Travis says, journalists have standards? When did this happen? Jason says, let me guess. He started playing the victim after it all this blew up on him. Yes. Yes, he did, Jason. How can they enforce an NDA you sign in game? By just banning you, right? Signing it or not signing it, if you talk about it, they're going to know, right? They'll figure it out. Sarge says, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. East Vandal says, Tom Warren was admitted publicly on Destin's show that he isn't a real journalist, hence his this behavior. We haven't even got to that part yet with Tom Henderson, or Tom Warren. Tom Henderson. Tom Warren, right? We're talking about his coworker at The Verge right now, right? So we're going to get into this next article, okay, from Forbes. Now, The Verge under fire. The Verge under fire for publishing info about Deadlock's Valve's secret shooter. Now, an interesting video is reporting situation is unfolding as we speak. One where popular tech site The Verge was published a large amount of information about Valve's secret shooter. Okay, Deadlock, which is also described as Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, and Overwatch all blend together. Oh, great. Another hero shooter. Fantastic. Okay. The problem, many fans are furious that they published this accusing them of breaking the NDA and going against the state info that says, early development build, Deadlock is still in early development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game with anyone. Okay? Now, if you read that, okay, we all read that right now, right? If you didn't read it, I said it out loud, your ear holes listening to me heard that, right? Early development build, Deadlock is still in early development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game with anyone. Okay? Regardless if I agreed or not, there's a standard there going, all right, well, I'm going to play this game, and they told me not to talk about it. So we'll give a manly, friendly handshake. We agreed. All right, I won't talk about it. Okay? But the loophole here is that this is just a honor system. As a Verge editor, Tom Warren, notes, they did not sign or agree to an NDA. They did not make any sort of verbal agreement with Valve by sharing this information. And you do not even have to click through the EULA as if you back out of it. It just goes away and you can play. But the problem with this is you are a journalist, right? You are a journalist. Now, obviously, East Vandal says that he said on Destin's podcast that he is not a journalist, which is fine. But he works for a place of business that reports news on things. So they either have to pick one. Are you a journalist or are you not a journalist? Okay? Right? Do you actually say the news and follow sources and do things and find that line of, I'm a journalist? Jason Schreier, I believe, is a journalist. Okay? He's got integrity. He's got standards. He actually does the work. The rest of the people they're just like YouTubers, which is fine. But then why are you so shocked? Like, is this your first rodeo? Is this the first time you played a beta, a closed beta, right? And when they tell you, do not talk about it. So this is like victim. I'm the victim here, right? We did nothing wrong. Did you read this? I'm gonna do a Randy Pitcher for a second. Did you see it? Did you read that? Early development build. Deadlock is still in early development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game. I did not sign to agree on any NDA. Okay? I did not make any sort of verbal agreement with Valve about sharing the information. Okay? You didn't even click through the EULA. But it said, do not talk about it. Right? It's so ridiculous. So The Verge, Sean Holster got an invite, played the game, and published information about that he played it. Okay? He published that he played it. He could have just kept it to himself. He could have talked about it within The Verge themselves. Hey, did you play the game? I did. Yeah. Right? Technically, that would still be breaking what they asked you not to do because it said do not talk about it to anybody, but come on. Right? But he took it to the next level. He took it to the next level where he reported, showed screenshots, and then uploaded stuff to his YouTube channel of 20 minutes of gameplay. Okay? 20 minutes of gameplay. Okay? This has created a firestorm among Valve defenders and other early testers. Warren's tweet of the story has been community noted and says that The Verge broke an informational NDA asking them not to share any information about the game. As an update to the story, The Verge reports that they were in fact banned from the playtest shortly after the story went up, something players appeared to be celebrating. Okay? Regardless if it's players celebrating, who gives a shit? It's about the company and the person that broke whatever they did. Okay? It doesn't matter what the public perception is. It has nothing to... It doesn't matter if Teddy and Susie are like, ha ha ha, screw you, Verge. They don't care. That has nothing to do with it. Valve asked you not to do something, and then you, the player, you, me, them, the reporter, the journalist, okay, did something, and now they got their hands smacked, okay? Don't do that. They did it, and then they're upset that they did it, right? It makes no sense to me. So Tom Warren says, we played Valve's secret new shooter Deadlock. It's like Overwatch, Dota 2's Team Torch 2, and all baked into the pie. And then he posted a picture of the thing where you're not supposed to talk about, but they did it anyway, okay? Don't hit me, Valve. I'm just reporting the news. Okay, these are decisions to make when reporting, and sometimes when this is Paul Tassi saying these are decisions you make when reporting sometimes, and when sometimes comes down to some people may think I'm a jerk or doing this, or are you still going to be publishing information no one else is running, particularly when you have not agreed to any sort of legal binding NDA or even an embargo. At this point, you're just a YouTuber at that point. You're just a person that's trying to get clicks on your video because you have information that everybody else has. There's 18,000, 20,000 people that are playing this game, but the journalists, okay, ran the report. Now, Paul Tassi's saying, you might think I'm a jerk doing this, okay, but we didn't sign any legal bindings of NDA or of an embargo. At this point, if I was Valve, I wouldn't let these people anywhere near any of my stuff ever again, right? Because if they can't play ball like everybody else is doing, then what's the point of having them? Okay? So in the end result, this isn't that. This is also going to be kind of a thing that lands in the blacklist by publisher. There you go. Okay, or developer. We have seen information leaks and lead to this sort of thing across the number of gaming sites over the years. Right. If Todd from Kentucky leaked GTA, and GTA guy, okay, he didn't sign anything. He didn't sign any NDAs. He just fucking leaked everything, okay? But that's against the law. That's against the law, okay? These people didn't sign anything, but it's okay because they're journalists. They're journalists, okay? And what many now happen to hear with The Verge, but considering that Valve only releases a game once a decade or so, that may not also be important to them, okay? I'm not sure what I would do and I've done in this situation, but yes, technically The Verge had the right to do this no matter how bad people may be about it. Okay, Valve included through the backlash from all parties may be in trouble than it's worth. Now, he's writing from his point of view from being a journalist. Okay, so let's go to the last story here. Valve fans defend Deadlock against supposed leaks. Okay, Valve fans shows surprising loyalty to a company after Verge recent article covering the hero-based shooter Deadlock. Again, I don't think it has anything to do with the fans defending Valve. It's the person that did the thing and Valve, the company itself. Everyone in between, doesn't matter what your opinion is, my opinion is, or anything like that. Valve said, we're banning him, and then this person's crying about it. Okay? Outlets, Sean Holster also got to play the game and closed the test share and experienced the screenshots of the video, with this video usually exciting potential players, but not this time. The Verge was heavily criticized for publishing the piece. Okay? So what is the problem when you enter Deadlock? It shows a message asking you not to share anything about the game with anyone. Holster said that he hadn't clicked OK. Instead, he pressed escape and continued playing and disagreeing with it. You probably see why people had an issue with this. They blamed The Verge for disagreeing with the NDA, to which the outlet replied, no one signed any contracts, while Valve didn't say anything directly and did ban Holster for matchmaking. Okay? Mischief says, how unprofessional are you guys trying to be here? Leaking an entire alpha just for those first scoop clicks, certainly a decision. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay? This is the screen that you see. This is the screen you see when you see it. This is the screen that you see. Early development build. Deadlock is still early in development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game without anyone. It only gives you the option of okay. It only gives you the option of okay. He happened to hit escape and backed out. Now, again, this is Valve's problem, okay, because now that it backed out, Now everyone can basically say I didn't sign anything. But you had to sign. You had to hit OK to agree. But he didn't, right? He didn't. But he read this, okay? So, funny, okay? Not everyone is against the Verge move, with some people saying that it did what it did. It was supposed to be sharing information about the mysterious project with everybody knowing about it, which is hit another concurrent player peak. Here's the thing. They're not doing what they're doing. Journalists are not supposed to leak things. Journalists are supposed to give you news when the thing is broken. Now, if somebody else leaks it, not a journalist, okay? I say journalist very, very quotationally, okay? If I leaked it, okay, and then a journalist picked up the leak and said, such and such, put some screenshots, it got taken down, but since then, we could talk about it because someone else put it out there, okay? But when a journalist is the leaker, we're crossing new waters here. We're crossing new waters, okay? So, he says, absolutely bizarre to see people upset at The Verge for writing about Deadlock. The game and other outlets have already written about. Numerous YouTubers and streamers have published videos and thousands of people are playing. I don't know if it's true about that. Deadlock is shaping up to be a combination, and we already read that. Okay, so what do you think about the decision, right? So, there you go, right? My thoughts are, as a journalist, as a person, you already know, yes, you signed plenty of NDAs, plenty of stuff. I've worked for plenty of things and know lots of different stuff, okay? I've signed NDAs. I haven't signed NDAs. Some things are secret. Some things you take to your grave, okay? It's just a moral compass that says that this big thing is on the screen. I happen to hit escape, and now I didn't have to hit it, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't have to hit escape. I didn't have to hit OK. So technically, I didn't sign any NDAs. So I could record footage of this, and I can talk about it. That's not how it works, Holster. That's not how it works. Okay? Let me see what you guys are saying here. Roic says, NDAs can have some serious consequences when you worked in the engineering firm. They had to sign one for the project, and if it broke it, then you were fired, period. Yeah. He didn't sign it, though. He backed out of it. One has to go to school to become a journalist. Tom Warren is online influencer. What the bigger thing about this, Vandal, is that every time a person comes out and that is a journalist or non-journalist or whatever, they just hurt them more, right? They just hurt that industry more. Waterbear says, yeah, don't talk about it. Okay. Then to proceed to do a full stream. That's right. Yeah. Travis says, fucker, you read it. That's right. He read it, knew that he backed out, and went, oh. Well, I guess I can talk about it now. Craig Tone says, when they don't pelt you with the $500, 500-page legal speak, this is what you do as a EULA for ever then. Travis says, the problem 30 is now that the court of law and the court of public opinion. That's true, but really it doesn't matter what we think. Valve put the hammer down on the person that didn't follow directions, right? Like, my son, when he's in school, doesn't sign an NDA or disclosure or EULA, right? He's supposed to be a good kid. He's supposed to sit down, respect the teacher, talk about the, not disrupt the rest of the class. Just because he didn't sign something, he's like, well, I didn't sign a thing. Woo! And then they're like, well, you got to kick your son out of school. And be like, why? He didn't sign any NDAs, right? It's like there's stupidity factor of people thinking that they can just get away with anything because they didn't sign something, right? Dark Taco says, for real, like the fact that he's crying like a little bitch and he deserves it is what makes me livid. Yeah, it's amazing to me, right? And again, I'm not mad, right? I'm shocked. This is why the thumbnail's like this. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Randall says this is the problem with gaming journalists. We expect them, F it, I'm a journalist now. Yeah. This is why more people respect YouTubers that are actually trying to be journalists than journalists trying to be YouTubers. Do you know what I mean? Right, Water. Even when people sign NDAs, they still talk about the goddamn thing. Now, I don't know if he could be sued. Right? I don't think they'll sue him. I just think they just take the lumps and they just ban him. He can't go back. End of story. Dolphin says, that's like walking out of a restaurant before you pay and say, well, no one told me I had to pay. Journalism is all about leaks these days. So-called leaks because nothing is kept under wraps anymore, right? Who can ever be the first person to the story, right? It's not about getting a source, getting a second source, doing things. It's just about get it there first. We'll fix it later. Right? I am not a journalist. In no way, shape, or form am I a journalist. I literally read the news article for the first time on stream and then give you my thoughts and opinions based on the article itself, right? In no way, shape, or form should anyone take news from me. Jack says, I don't understand him skipping the NDA part and then allowing him to continue playing with should have shut him down. They did. But you can't tell if they backed out. So Valve fucked up because apparently someone didn't think that you could hit the escape button and then just close that thing down. See, the actual screen itself, says this. Okay? The actual screen itself says this. Early development build, and it has a big OK button. The only button that you can press, and it says, don't show this again. So when you log back in, it doesn't show you this again. He hit escape, which closed this screen down. Okay? And when he hit the escape button, it never popped back up, and he got access to the game. So that's Valve's problem. But at that point, the journalist, the player, whoever's trying this, saw this and now knows that I'm not allowed to talk about it. Right? I had to hit the OK button, but there was a back-end door that I got in, and now he thinks that the rules don't apply to him. Robert Jones says he did nothing illegal, but he also shouldn't bitch about being punished. Agreed. Agreed. He should lose all his privileges as a journalist. You don't know how to be a professional, then you don't get to be a professional. And I think this is a problem. I think what Valve should do, I think Valve should not let anyone from the Verge touch anything that ever they do. Do you know what I mean? Which is not really a big punishment because Valve doesn't really have that many games. They come out once every decade. What's going on, Argus? That's exactly right, Mo. They just blacklist him from all the stuff. There's some credentials shouldn't be allowed to do anything with his life ever again. I don't know about that. With that company, he shouldn't be able to do anything. What a stupid way to get yourself in a spot that never actually gets you opportunity again with any company. Yeah, I mean, they could actually do this with anyone because now that they see this particular writer works for The Verge, they might not give The Verge anything ever again because they might leak it because they can't trust them. I don't know if leaks are banned in journalism. They're not banned. But you understand the difference though, Jones, right? Of somebody reporting a leak and then being the leak from the actual like professional outlet. There's a huge difference. Like, leaks will happen. And then you can report on it, right? We do it all the time, right? We're not giving you the news, but when a leak comes out, we'll have a conversation about it because it's out there. And then reporters report on the leak. But when the reporter is the leak, that's untreaded waters. Argus says, yep, other companies are going to see it and did this, and it'll be for sure lose opportunities for this. It's unintentionally knowing full well, and then it says something. Right. Like, I'm leaving this on the screen so people can see. This is the thing that he saw before he hit escape instead of hitting OK. Jones says, I understand reporting versus leaking, but it's, again, the code of conduct for journalists. It doesn't have to be a conduct of code for journalists. It's like an unwritten rule, right? There's certain things that you do and don't do, right? You understand? Like, there's an agreement amongst civilized people that you don't cross a line with certain things, right? Now, as a journalist, you have more than any right to go do what this person did. But then there's consequences when you cross it, right? If a leaker gets caught, they get punished, right? They get found out. Someone went to prison for reporting on GTA, right? Not reporting, but to leaking the actual documents and also video footage of it. That person's actually being sued because he hacked into the thing. He was a leaker. He released the stuff. Okay. Now, he didn't hack anything, but he still leaked things. Okay. So if that person gets punished, then this person should also get punished. Now, all they did was just ban him from the game, right? They didn't try to do a lawsuit. I don't think they will. Okay. I think Valve will see this problem. And anyone that's in the beta right now, the closed beta, let me know if this screen pops up, if you can hit escape out of it now, or did they fix it? Okay. Yeah, there's a big difference between reporting on something and was already leaked by someone and also being the source of the leak. Two completely different consequences from those things. Right. Yes, is leaking against journalism a grant? I don't know. I'm not a journalist. I didn't sit there and go, 30 and still gaming, take an oath that I didn't do that, right? I didn't go to journalism school. Okay? But I'm pretty sure there's a rule that when a leak happens, that you gotta see the source, right? He does know the source because he played the fucking game, but then he's leaking it himself. Right? If anything, I would have made a different account. Hell, you already went bad. You already said no to this. You might as well make a different account and leak it on a different name. That way you don't... But he reported it and then put 20 minutes of gameplay on his YouTube channel. Ah, ridiculous. Argus says it's bad for business to be a leaker unless your job is around being the leaker of things. If you're upstanding journalist, probably a bad choice. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the thing. Maybe nothing happens of it, right? Maybe nothing happens of it. I just think that fundamentally, though, if I tell my kid, don't go into the fridge, I put a note on the sign on the door that says, don't go in the fridge. And then I go out and leave the house, and my son walks up to the fridge and is like, I see the sign. I see it. It says, do not open this fridge. My dad told me not to open the fridge, but there's not a lock on it. There's not a lock on it. So I'm going to open the fridge. Right? That's the problem. That's the problem. Okay? John says, I know the government whistleblowing journalists are safe because they aren't the source. Right. When you're the source is different than when you're reporting from a source. Maybe in those situations, sometimes those reporters are the source, but they do something different to pretend there's a source, my anonymous source, even though it's them, right? That could be happening, sure. That's right, Craig. He's definitely going into the fridge. Don't push that red button. Don't push that red button. I don't know that answer, Jones. I don't. All right, Jones says, I agree. He broke the gentleman's agreement with the Valve, but just want to know if he broke the journalist's agreement. I don't know. I don't know that answer. Dolphins like parents. Don't do this. Kids, I can't wait to do what my dad told me not to do. I mean, obviously, right now, what is it called? Deadlock? That first article that we talked about, right? That first article we talked about, did they do this on purpose? Right? Did they do this on purpose? Did Valve, do they have a monopoly? Do they have an advantage over everybody else running beta tests and whatnot? Because this game doesn't exist right now, right? This game doesn't exist. We didn't know about it until the Verge did it thing. People that were in the know were people in the know. Okay? And from the 8th, when it came into existence, to now, it's gained 20,000 people. Okay? 20,000 people. So, did Valve purposefully do what they're doing to get more traction for this? And do they drop it like an Apex Legends? Do they do something different? And then do they have an advantage like the first report that we did? Okay. Does Steam have a monopoly? Not over on PC, but over other people that are on their platform, right? Because another person on a platform, they can push it in different ways than other people can. That's another conversation we could have. Okay. But this game is becoming more popular because of what's happening. So, Water says, come on, guys. We all thought the stove was cold, even though the parents said don't touch it, right? And you got burned. And then you can't run to mom. Be like, I told you. I told you not to touch the stove. You can't come over here and start complaining. Sarge says, if you don't get reprimanded, you don't learn shit. Fucking consequences, people. That's it. Right? You know what I find funny, Dolphin? Deadlock must be a good game. Seems interesting. Got way more interest in Concord. Concord was an open beta, and there was way less people playing that shit. Water says, I think Rivals is going to take a top spot as a hero shooter. They're dropping in building hype at the same time with well-known characters and design. We have another story we're going to talk about there as well. Yeah, Concord begged people to play it. Yeah, they begged them. They're like, come on, play. There's a game that no one knows about. 23,000 people playing. 23,000 people. Wait a minute. Let me find. Was this the open beta on Steam? This was the open beta on Steam. Now, I get there's PlayStation, right? But think about this. A hero shooter. Valve has 23,000 people playing a game that no one knew about. Wasn't marketed, didn't show up in an event, didn't tell people it was an open beta, right? This game had an open beta, and it had 2,300 people on Steam. I'm sure it'll do fine. I'm sure it'll do fine for the $40 that they're asking for. Argus says, Concord has no choice but to beg people to play. They're trying to sell something to people that nobody asked for. I don't know your friend, Travis, but Concord's deader than his friend's left eye. There you go. Waterbear says, I still haven't played Mecha Break yet. Got invited to the beta. Just been stuck on the First Descendant. I think only Wuhan and the Space Marines will pull me away from the moment. Mecha Break is a good game. I played for maybe 10 minutes. Then I had something come up and I never went back. But while I was in it, I was like, yeah, this is cool. I would like more PvE in the game because the tutorial's PvE, but then you go into the PvP battles and stuff. But it's very fun. It's very fun, the very little I played of it. Jack says there's not a lot to Concord, but I hope they succeed regardless. I mean, I don't know what their bar is set for the game. I think it's got an uphill battle for it. I do, Jax. Again, I don't want a game to suck, just like I don't want movies and stuff to suck. But it's got a huge uphill battle. It's going up against a whole bunch of other hero shooters out there that are free to play, right? And yet they're coming in at a $40 price tag to compete against them, and it's not going to go good for them. Not going to go good. Funny comparison, but Valve game needs no marketing. The fact, though, Jones, that people that are on Steam, that there was an open beta for people that wanted to play a hero shooter that had no interest in Concord on Steam, but yet a silent Valve hero shooter comes out and there's 23,000 people. That is a fair comparison and also a funny comparison. Regardless of marketing or not, there was a hero shooter that they told people about, and the player base that plays those types of games didn't come out for it on Steam. All right. We have the next thing I want to talk about. Concord being paid is going to kill it. Yeah, I'm sure it'll sell. But because there's a $40 paywall to play with your friends and whatnot, where your friend's having fun with a free-to-play game, why would he pay $40 to go to that game where they're fine where they are? You know what I mean? They're having fun over here. And then they're like, oh, yeah, well, Concord's fun. Let's play $40. Like, that game over there I was having fun with is free. Jones says, I get it, but it's the newest Valve game in like 10 years or more. Jones, again, it doesn't matter if it's 10 years or more. The people that didn't know about this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they didn't know about it. They didn't play the game. The game didn't exist until this week. Those people that were interested in hero shooters, interested in games like that, Concord was there, open beta for free, and that player base didn't give two shits about it. It has nothing to do with Valve. It has everything to do with that genre of game that the player base didn't give two shits about. Like, those people that are playing the Valve new game of Deadlock were there when beta came out, and they're like, nah, I'm good. Oh, you saw my tweet? My tweet that I put out? You mean this one right here? Someone posted, who's hyped for season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi? I said, I'd rather run a treadmill of Lego than watch season 2. Yeah. Fuck season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'd rather get a kidney stone again. I'd rather get a kidney stone. And I mean that. And those of you that ever had a kidney stone, you know that's fucking painful. And I would rather pass another kidney stone than support Disney for Obi-Wan Season 2. No, it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. Chris says, PC players are more likely to want to play Valve games. It has everything to do with the known brand, just like Rivals is being carried by Marvel and not gameplay standing out. Okay. First of all, I understand what you're saying, but Valve as a brand is for games, but at the same time, not the specific type of game, right? They make plenty of games. They make Left 4 Dead back in the day, right? They made Half-Life. Okay, they made Team Fortress, right? There's lots of different games that Valve creates. Now, I understand that people like what Valve makes. They make good games. Again, though, the player base that's playing Valve is now playing a game that's a hero shooter, okay? Is a hero shooter. And yet, when the hero shooter came out just a month ago, that same player base doesn't give two shits about Concord. That's fact, right? That's fact. Okay, now your comparison to Rivals, Marvel's a huge IP, way bigger than Valve. Okay, way bigger than Valve. Video games. Now, Valve is known for what Steam is, not for all of their games. Their games have a really good following. I love all of their games. Okay, but to say that, well, people are nipping at the bud to play the next Valve game, sure. But that game didn't exist, and those players were there, and they didn't care about the other game that came out, unless they knew that this game was coming out, which I don't think they did. Have you seen the new Kraven trailer? The movie, I think it looks badass. A lot of people are dogging it. I think it looks good. Did they just release it? The last Kraven trailer I saw was months and months ago. Did they just come out with a new one? Robert Jones says, y'all crazy. I would pay $10 to avoid a kidney stone. Yeah, but I would still rather have a kidney stone than watch season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Those were dark times. Yeah, they were dark times. Go on, Doberman. Maybe I saw it on IGN this morning. Maybe I'm seeing something old, but I think it's new. Well, I'll check it out. Let me see. I mean, it would pop up on. It would be everywhere on Twitter. Looks like 8 hours ago. New trailer for Kraven the Hunter has been released. In theaters December 13th. Kidney Stone or watch Borderlands? Kidney Stone sounds pretty good right now. Robert Jones has become a member. "30 goes to hospital for kidney stone and forced to watch Obi-Wan." Oh God. Oh God. Oh my God, Jones. That would be fucking hilarious. That would be fucking hilarious. Hey, look at that. It has a little member badge next to your name. The Goonie Squad, 17 months. Look at that. That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know they did that. That even shines. Look at that. Look at his name. Shining. Look at that. Thanks for the continued support, Jones. Appreciate it. DMX says, "But have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie?" I want to see if it comes up again. Let me see. Oh, no. It was just that time, Jones. It was just that time. That's pretty cool, though. That was neat. I didn't know that was happening. Gene says, "Kidney stone greater than Redfall." Travis says, "Space Marine Tune greater than all other games this year." Look, Space Marines 2 looks great. It all goes out the window if co-op doesn't work for me. Everything about Space Marines 2 looks fantastic. The skill tree, the weapons, the gameplay, all of it. But it means absolutely nothing if co-op doesn't work. For me. So when it works, you'll be happy? Yes. If the game comes out, it's complete, not broke, buggy, unfinished, and it has co-op, then that would be very happy. No, this is not a YouTuber thing. This is not a this badge thing. This whole thing here is a separate program. It's a separate program. I scoured the internet. A couple weeks ago, I was talking to Lono. I said, because he had a sheet that I think Demins made for him, where people can submit questions and stuff. And I don't want that. I don't want a submitted question thing. I wanted to do exactly what this is doing right here, right? And he said, "Oh, I have this template and stuff." And I was like, I don't really want that, because like you guys have to go submit it and whatnot. I can literally just pick and choose who I want to talk. Boom, pop it up. Member, no member, doesn't matter. I can pick anyone from chat, click it, pops up on screen. It's fantastic. I don't have to use StreamYards, which is a separate program. Have they showed Space Marines on console? Because all I've seen is PC play. I don't know that answer. I don't believe so. Yeah, Titan, I'm an open book, man. Ask questions and stuff, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you if I know the answer. If I don't know the answer, we'll try to find the answer. Yeah, because a lot of people, when I was talking, like I had this chat on the side here, so when people are, if they want to see the chat, go as we're talking. But then I was like, when I talk about someone's question, sometimes they don't see it, because I would just say it. Like, instead of saying, this is the second game where Vanguard is the best class, people are like, well, where's he talking about? But if I pick it, it comes across the bottom of the screen, and then everyone knows what the hell I'm talking about. And as a streamer, I was like, maybe I should only let members talk, right? And maybe at some time down the road, maybe that happens. But right now, it's whatever I feel like I want to talk about, right? If someone talks or I see something that someone said and I want to bounce off of that, I like the fact as a content creator that you guys are 100% part of the chat, right? 100% part of the chat. Because I've been on other people's streams where they do the super chats and stuff like that, and basically that's what it turns into. It just turns into like super chat reading, which obviously fantastic for them, right? But when here as a smaller channel, I was like, I want to interact with chat, and how am I going to do it? I was like, I want something to pop up on the screen. So I happened to do a lot of research and found it, and I was like, okay, this will work. Roadkill says, why did the chicken cross the road? I need an answer. Probably because he was just bored. That's basically why they crossed the road. They're like, oh, what's over there? Grass is greener syndrome type of thing. They're not going anywhere or doing anything. They're like, oh, grass. Well, let's see if there's bugs over there. Did you see the Vanguard class breakdown? I did not. Vanguard is brutal. Solo max level difficulty. All right, let's see.
Picking your class in Space Marine 2 is a tough decision, and while you can certainly play them all, it takes time and hours of grinding your class and weapons to reach max level. You all loved our sniper gameplay video, so we're back, and our buddy Tragic is here to showcase another class, the Vanguard. If you're the type of player that craves non-stop, close-range action, then look no further than the Vanguard. They're designed around leaping directly into the fray and crushing anything that stands in their path. Of course, they also come with a host of excellent defensive perks that allows them to stay in the heat of battle longer than most. An absolutely explosive class that bolsters any team comp through pure, unadulterated offense. In this video, Tragic, once again, takes you through a solo operation at max difficulty with a fully leveled Vanguard. And just like in the previously released sniper video, he shows you a taste of what the class
This is 36 minutes long.
when the
Jesus.
odds are stacked against you. The only solution
We're not going to watch this whole thing.
violence. If you have any questions about the game, be sure to check out our other preview videos released on the channel, and be sure to stop by again when the game launches on September 9th.
This is Legacy Gaming, right? Legacy Gaming. This is yeah, Legacy Gaming. Yeah, it's a good channel. Kodiak and them. Gears of Warhammer. We'll watch a little bit of gameplay here. Yeah, it feels so Gears of War-ish, which is not a bad thing, by the way. Just making comparison because you got to make the comparison. Did he mention if this is on console or is this on PC? I don't know if it's the bit rate. On my end, it's a 1080p 60. At times, and I don't know if you guys can see it on your side, okay, it looks very pixelated at times. I don't know what, if it's YouTube. Or if they have some sort of blur effect on the thing. Like, it's very blurry.
That is where we need to be.
It's like a softness all over it. It's not sharp in any way, shape, or form.
Crave a bloodbath or a blood shower.
I hope it doesn't look like this when we play it. Like here. Like, even around these things, it's got to be the upload. Around the logo and stuff here, or around the little UI, it's like very pixelated. If you look around the bushes, it just becomes like a blurry mess, like very, very smudgy. Okay, even around the character, like his shoulder pad here, it's very pixelated. I hope it's just a YouTube thing. Because we have seen this like crystal clear. Like Skillip had some footage of stuff and it was super nice. All right, I wanna go in a little deeper here. Let's go here. Yeah, Roic, it might be the motion blur. It's just very. Right, Roadkill. Skillip was running on the high-end PC.
Finished and ready.
Yeah, it's just so. Like, if you look around, like the feet of the guys, the edging on everything has just got this blur. It's like I got Vaseline on my eyes. Dude, co-op better work. I'm so excited about this game if co-op works. If co-op doesn't work, I'm just so disappointed. This is the Series S version.
Reaching the facility now. You are making good time. We are going to need it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks great, but after seeing it like crystal clear and then looking at this, it's got, you know, it's not its best foot forward. First, you got this like filter on.
That will do. Use the codes to prime the bomb and finish its deployment into the crude Promethean well. Cautiously.
All right, is there like a boss fight and stuff? Let me see. Yeah, this is just a single player because the other two are AIs. And that's another problem with this. As a single player, we other videos have said it, that the AI is not the best. Co-op works from start, I'll pay full price. If co-op doesn't work from start, this is a sale. Waiting for it on sale. Yeah, hands down, co-op works. Day one buy. Co-op doesn't work. sale.
Too much damage inflicted.
I don't care if co-op comes out 1 month later. I'll wait for it because I'll be playing something else.
Than keeping the hearts of my brothers pure and the hearts of my enemies still. Do so already.
I've never played it, Roadkill. I never played Mafia. I know it's on Game Pass right now. Isn't it on Game? I think they went on to Game Pass, didn't it? No, there's different classes. There's different classes. Different classes and guns. Mo says it's coming to Game Pass. What's coming to Game Pass? This is coming to Game Pass?
We have arrived at Nozick's facility. Run distraction efforts as long as you can. I will fight in the thick of these Xenos as long as you need. I will hold you to that.
Oh, Mafia. Yeah, Mafia is coming to Game Pass. Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. Mo appears. No, Mo was here earlier.
May I be reborn as a dreadnought.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit more.
Hope and no brains. Swapping out magazine.
Yeah, they even move. They move so similar to Gears of War, minus the shifting to the walls for cover that people do. This is Saber, isn't it? You're a space marine. You are the cover.
Hulk available. Closing the gap. Feel your packs, brothers. You are clear to detonate.
Could Vandal.
Bastards.
Could. It might not get boycotted, but sales might drop because of what's happened with Wizards of the Coast.
I crave a bloodbath or a blood. Tenanted biosites down 90% and falling. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract.
There wasn't like a big boss fight, huh?
Extraction.
There you go, Ron. There's an extraction point. So it's just like Helldivers. We got bugs and extractions. We're good. Ron's good. All right. Let's go look at. I want to show you this. Oh wait, did I screw it up? Oh, okay, here it is. I want to show you this. This is the Guinness Book of World Records. Okay, Guinness Book of World Records of I'm gonna butcher this dude's name, but he's from Saudi Arabia. Holds now the Guinness Book of World Records for connecting over 400 plus game consoles to one television. Okay. To one television. Okay. Let's watch this.
I have so many video game consoles. After a while, I noticed that I have a big stock of gaming consoles that I couldn't play. The TV ports are limited, and if I want to play, either I unplug the existing consoles, or I will keep everything and add more switchers, and of course, more converters as well. By adding more switchers, the idea came to my mind. I will connect all.
Jesus Christ. The dude's a museum.
All the gaming consoles I have to the TV. Then I'll contact Guinness World Records, as this project looks unique. Includes hundreds of video game consoles, all different than each other. So I can play home video game consoles, computers, plug and play, and so on. And all of these consoles require the special setup and cable management as well.
He's from Saudi Arabia. What does this dude do?
This is the main area. The main HDMI switcher, 16-in-1, RCA switcher. If I want to select any...
Do you understand? I have one computer with a lot of wires. The wiring on this alone is insane. Insane. The cable management in this is insane.
gaming console.
He does nothing. Well, he did something. At some point he did, Jones.
Everything here.
His job now is just working through like organization and cabling.
Here in the Excel sheet, you can see this is main, this is HDMI, DC,
oh my God,
and so on. This is the RCA. I have everything here. Okay. Once I turn on the
You think this dude's a Sony fan or an Xbox fan? No, he's just a gamer, man. Just a gamer.
You can see here.
Like, I want to play a game. What game would you like? It's like going through the library and you got what in the world, man?
Another one.
Yeah, Argus, he's got consoles like you have Fortnite skins.
Is number 7 here. Power on. For me, the best gaming console of all time.
Did he just say the Super NES is the best console of all time? I mean, Super Nintendo does have the best baseball game ever created, which is Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball.
For me, the best gaming console of all time. Number 1. Always. Forever.
Oh, no. He's talking about the Sega Genesis. Get out of here. That's not the best system of all time. Forever. Always. Oh, my God.
Sega Genesis. If I want to reach 444, I need to use the whole room. So I have different areas for minis. Each one include 8 games. 8.
I thought he said Super Nintendo. He talking about Sega Genesis.
8 for computers, consoleized arcades, Hyper Neo Geo 64, plug and play, HDMI sticks, and so on. A very important thing, If you notice here, the cable's almost hidden.
You think this guy buys microtransactions? Does he buy microtransactions? This dude is a whale or a kraken of consoles. Look at all of them. Look at him, and he's got multiples of them.
I used all the tools available in the market, everything available in order to organize the cables. Also to have a setup, it's not only to play, it's like a museum. And that's why
It's not like a museum, it is a museum.
this setup and this record took too much time from me. I'm so happy and proud that I'm officially a Guinness World Record.
He only has one TV. He doesn't buy microtransactions. No, I don't think he does. I think he did this because he wanted to get the world record.
Holder for the most gaming consoles connected to a single TV. 444 gaming consoles.
444 separate gaming consoles connected to one TV.
All different than each other, all playable. Thank you very much, and I'll be back.
He'll be back. My God. You should buy a building. You should buy a building, open it up for people to play. Museum. You pay to come in. You can it's a museum that you can play all the game consoles. That's his basement. Like, I want to watch this again. We're just gonna put the music on. Look at all of these systems. He's got the 16-bit, but then he's got the cartridge adapter up on top, the 32-bit one. He's got the attachment pieces. The PlayStation. Oh my God, dude. Look at those switchers. 16 HDMI switch. A lot of Konami copies of the game. Why does he have so many copies of the same game? Why does he have so many copies of the same game? There's the old school Atari. Think he's a Metal Gear Solid fan? I would say yes. I love the passion. I love the passion. Look at all those handhelds. And now you look at like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, all of these other ones, right? This is not new, folks. It's not new. It's just repeat. You just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Sarge says, hey, bro. I just downloaded Borderlands 2 and the enhancement pack. The DLCs are not downloadable for some reason. Don't know why. If you're going to play tonight, make sure you download the same stuff. Okay? I'll have to do that right after we get off stream. If anybody wants to play with us tonight, we're playing Borderlands 2. We're playing Borderlands 2 tonight. We're shooting the shit with Sarge tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. If anybody wants to play, we have 2 spots open. So if you want to play Borderlands 2 with us, we're on console, we're on Xbox. Come on in. Hang out with us. Shoot some shit. The plug-and-play stuff, that's crazy, man. I don't know if it's crossplay. Xbox, Kylo. Xbox. Mo's like, I don't even know what that is. Borderlands 2? Oh, you call yourself a gamer. I like that monitor. I would love that monitor. I want one monitor in front of me and get rid of the multiple monitors. Oh, yeah, the 16 Switch has got to be expensive. It's got to be expensive. The hell is that one right there? Did you see that one? What is this one right here? It looks like a futuristic toaster. What is that? What system is that? It's like a customized Nintendo, like GameCube or something. It's got to be Nintendo because he's in the Nintendo section. That's crazy. There's one thing I would have changed in his setup. I know it's hard to do. That's why he stacks them. But the switchboards, I would have ran the cables and core. I guess it would have been harder to do that. But I would have had a custom rack made with all the switchboards in there. But that's a lot of cabling. A lot of cabling. You have to customize the cables then. Plus the spacing. Some of those consoles would overheat over time. It's not good to stack your systems like that. You know when he goes with his wife, goes to a store, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, go ahead." He's like, "You're in that house that we have. You have all of that. I just need this room." I just need this room, babe. To find me on Xbox Roadkill, I'll type my name into my gamer tag on Xbox. Is just that. Lowercase X, 30 and still gaming. Yeah, that room is an entire lifetime. Is my entire lifetime. Last story we got going on here is Overwatch players hero shooter. Here's yet another hero shooter that came out. Chris brought it up that the Marvel brand itself is a very popular game. This did huge numbers. Data that everyone knew about for Marvel Rivals, Both of these games had 20,000 and whatnot. Overwatch players are already crying out for the return of Marvel Rivals. Okay. Her hand to save you, only she was pulling you from the game itself and tossing you into a world of superheroes. Okay. Even though this is a third-person copycat of Overwatch, people love it. Why? Because they loved Overwatch. But what made Overwatch better was Marvel characters, okay? Now, this might be a flash in the pan when it comes out. It might not. As of right now, people really love it, and I think they're hitting it at the right time because of Overwatch on the downside, okay? It says, but Marvel Rivals is only available for a blip of time. From July 23rd to August 5th, you could also dive in and try the closed beta, but apparel comic book gates are now closed and also left you waiting for a grand reopening. Of the meantime, some players have flocked back to Overwatch, but they're not having a good time. He says, playing Overwatch, Greg says, playing Overwatch again after playing Marvel Rivals has to be one of the most depressing experiences ever, right? They're just like, I want to go back to Marvels, okay? Another person says, I just played 30 minutes of Overwatch 2. One player tweeted, yeah, Marvel Rivals needs to come back as soon as possible. Like, they've lost interest. They're done. Like, Overwatch has ran its course of time. It says, quote, I don't know what happened, but I could play Marvel all day no matter what the wins-loss ratio looked like I had fun. Reads one, quote, retweet. I played one game of Overwatch, and I immediately had a headache. I need my sword mommy back. Okay, so they just like it better. Okay, another person says, no Marvel Rivals, and the sheer idea of playing Overwatch possible. So there's no word on when the Marvel Rivals will release proper, but it's likely that they'll get our hands on it later this year or next, regardless of the closed beta was a huge success, reaching a player peak of 22 times that of PlayStation's Concord. There's an audience in waiting now. It's also that there's several new characters in development. Some are even launching in the game, like Jeff the Shark and Thor. We have Captain America to look forward to, alongside with Human Torch, Ultron, and Black Widow. So, look, I've always said this in the past, that if you have a game that you like, right? Like, for instance, right now, I know a lot of people are loving The First Descendant. First Descendant is a fun game because you're having fun with the game. But if they take your favorite IP and create the same type of style of game as The First Descendant, but in that franchise that you love, you would love it more because you already have that connection with the characters and whatnot, right? This is why I'm looking forward to Transformers Reactivate. I think for the future, The First Descendant is a good game, but I think that good game becomes a better game just because of the IP that's attached to it, right? Overwatch was a fun game. I had a blast playing. I used to play it all the time when it came out, okay? But then I fell off because I didn't really care about the characters, okay? I played Marvel Rivals, the first alpha test when it came out, or the first beta test, and I liked it. I thought it was good, but it was just an Overwatch clone. But I can forgive it that it's an Overwatch clone because, one, it's third person. I can see my character. And two, it's Marvel characters. Now, I've talked about this. I have a video of this where this game will live or die based on the people that it brings in, okay? And I don't mean the actual players that it brings in. I'm talking about the actual characters that they bring in. This needs at least double. They had 19 in the when I played it. They need to have at least 40, if not more, at launch. I've said this about 5-6 months ago when I talked about it. Okay, this game lives or dies in that. Then once you admit all those people into the game, then you also have to worry about the juggling of the balancing, nerfing, buffing type of stuff that we saw in the small little alpha test. Okay, now one more thing they need to do in this game that Overwatch didn't do, which they were going to do with Overwatch 2, is bring in some sort of PvE sort of gameplay where it's got story content. I believe this even more now playing Marvel's Midnight Suns. Okay, Midnight Suns, I don't want the fluff of the CW type of stuff, but I do want the background and the storytelling of the comics. And I think Marvel's Midnight Suns does a really good job with that stuff. And I think if Marvel Rivals down the road, Okay, obviously it's going to be a free-to-play game. I think they can make a lot more money, not just with the PvP, but I think they can make a lot more leeway with a lot of people in this industry and also gamers to come over if they added a PvE type of content. If it's story-driven, even if they charged a little bit for it, if it was $10, $15 for like story pieces of content, because the people that would be interested in it would pay for it, right? Where the live service aspect of this, this arena shooter, hero shooter, will be fun for a bit, but will it last as long as Overwatch? A lot of these people are saying that they miss Marvel Rivals because they're going back to Overwatch. Is that they're jonesing, right? They're jonesing for that. They had scratched that itch. They really had a really fun time, and when you know that feeling, right? You guys in chat know that feeling in the live chat, in the comment section. There's that game out there that when you're not playing, you're thinking about it. Okay, and when you're playing it, you're thinking about it. You're like, how can I do this? How can I play more? How can I get this thing? How do I get this character? That's what Marvel Rivals is doing right now for a lot of people. It's scratching that itch. Not only is it scratching the itch for Overwatch, but it's scratching their itch for that Marvel game that people were looking for. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think of Marvel Rivals? Do you think when it does come out that it will be this big game that comes out, or do you think it'll just come and fall just like all other arena shooters out there? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me hear from you in the live chat. And if you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Argus says, why did they give Hulk a cooch? Was the huge laboring male chicken that the Hulk should have been having out of respect. I'm not addicted. You're addicted. Give me Marvel Rivals. I need it. Did you play a lot of it, Altern? Did you play it? Travis says, I just got Borderlands Legendary Collection, so I have all 3 games now. I don't own Borderlands 3, but 1 and 2 I do. And the pre-sequel, I own that as well. Travis says, just put in every Marvel character known to man. Ghost Fixer says, I most likely will enjoy Marvel Rivals. Looked cool. I enjoyed it. I thought some of the gameplay was a little slow. And I'm a little disappointed with the game because I don't want it to always be PvP. I would love that style. I love the art style. The art style to me is fantastic. It's one of the coolest looking like comic book characters I've seen in quite a bit. And there was a lot of other Marvel games in the past. I really like the comic book style of these guys. Jason says, it'll have a first good week or first week and then fade quick. I think it'll last a little longer, Jason, but I do believe it'll fade. But I think it'll be a little, again, all depending on when it comes out, right? It all depends when it comes out. If any other thing comes out to like pull away from that. But if they pick the right time to launch and come out, I think they could have a good run for like a month or two. And then it'll be like Helldivers. Helldivers was good, and then about a month and a half, it started dipping a little bit. Not a lot, but dipping a little bit. And then it'll maintain. It'll stay at that 15,000 or something like that. On Steam numbers, by the way. I agree with that. Market's way too saturated with hero shooters, and this is why I think Concord will fail because it's charging $40. But then I think Marvel Rivals kind of skates by and gets a little leeway because of the brand of Marvel. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people that are upset about Marvel, but a lot of people still they're like, ah, like if you have Overwatch and Overwatch 2 is out and you have Marvels, I think a lot of people are going to pick Marvels over Overwatch. One, because they're just done with Overwatch, and two, they're like, I'd rather play Marvel characters than, I'd rather play, Hulk than Diva. Even though that's not a one-to-one comparison. Marcus says Marvel characters are beloved, so they get a pass in some ways and places. Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. Roic says, I really wish they would make a PvE game like that. I agree. I think they're missing a big opportunity. And if they don't want to make a standalone game, make a mode. Like, do a testing of it. Like, how cool would it be to level up your Hulk or your Daredevil or your Magneto, right? How cool would it be to level up each of those things? And if you want them all, collect them all. If you don't want to collect them all, then, like, look at the First Ascendant right now, right? Imagine making a game like that, but with Marvel, where each of the characters has their own guns and weapons defined, and each of the guys has their own skills that you can level up and play, right? That would be pretty cool. And I don't know why there's not a developer out there not working on a game like that. Oh, I see what you did there, Travis. I'd rather play with Diva than Hulk. I mean, I understand. Yeah. Captain Thrust says Diva's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. No, I was a main. I loved Diva when I played her. I used to love launching my mech into people and blowing them all up. I still have like clips and stuff on our Twitch account. I just wish, look, everybody always wants... I don't think every PvE game needs a PvP mode, and I don't think every PvP game needs a PvE mode, but I do think there are games out there that are PvE, need PvP, and I do believe there's PvP games that do need PvE. Because playing PvP, playing over and over and over, for me, I know many other people think it gets monotonous and boring, and they just want to go do something else, but they still want to play that game. Right? They still want to play that game. And I think this is why Destiny worked really well, right? Destiny worked really well besides the balancing issues with PvP and PvE weapons back in D1. But people would play the game and be like, oh, you know what? I played some story missions, and now I'm going to go play some PvP. And people that just played PvP, they're like, I played PvP, but you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm going to go play... Where you didn't have to go play a different game. You were playing the same game that you wanted to play, but just in a different area. And I think that's really smart of what Destiny did in the past, right? And that's what I like, where I wish they just separated the guns in that game. In this game, I really wish they would put PvE. Everyone was asking Overwatch to do this. Everyone was asking Overwatch to make a PvE, make a PvP, where people like the PvP, but at the same time, they're like, you know what? I really want to do the story missions for these characters. Because they wanted to know more about the characters in Overwatch, right? They wanted to know more about the characters, and this is why they want the PvE. Now with the Marvel Rivals, we know about the characters, but we want to know more about these characters and stories told about these characters. And it's just a missed opportunity. I hope, because there is a story in it. The story of Marvel Rivals is Doctor Doom, is there, and he's melding the universes together or whatnot. And there's a story there. Now, I don't know if it's just going to be a PvP type of story, like every couple missions, then you get story content beats from it, or if it's going to be like Concord, where they just drop story beats every week or two, or month, or whatever. But I really hope that Marvel Rivals learns the lesson from what Overwatch was going to do in other games in the past to make a PvE section in that game. Titan says, PvE adds story and context. Can't argue against PvE. 30, if it does well and people buy microtransaction, who knows? Maybe they'll fund a story. Yeah, but I don't want them to be like, oh, you gotta buy the microtransactions if you want more story. I'll think of it this way, Travis. If they make a story mission and they say we're charging $10 for it, see how well that does, and if that does well, then make it, instead of saying, well, if you buy microtransactions, make the content, and if the content's good, people will buy more content. Well, no. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Overwatch was first an MMO, and then they changed it. Then they changed it to what Destiny was supposed to be, and then they changed it to an arena shooter. I'm pretty sure it was either an MMO or it was a like a Dota type of game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I did see the Beetlejuice inside of Multiverses. Yeah, I thought it was. I think it was called Project Titan. Yeah, Titan was a Blizzard MMO, which was Overwatch. Yeah, Titan was a scrap MMO made by Blizzard Entertainment. Production began in 2007 and was canceled in 2013. Elements from Titan were repurposed in Overwatch and earliest content. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Travis that said it was Dark Taco. Sorry about that. Yeah, Project Titan. Oh, what was I doing? I was looking for Beetlejuice real fast. What's happening with Vanguard? Veilguard? Upcoming reveals. Upcoming reveals. August 15th, release date, trailer, and announcement. August 19th, high-level combat and PC spotlight. August 26th, Champion Week. August 30th, developer and Discord Q&A. September 3rd, IGN first month-long exclusive coverage begins. And September, much more to come in September and beyond. Oh, there he is. That's what Beetlejuice looks like. That's what Beetlejuice looks like. And that's the voice actor for him. So they actually made him look like Beetlejuice of old. Like older Beetlejuice, not of old. Not old Beetlejuice. What Michael Keaton looks like is Beetlejuice now. If you guys like the 2 Point Museum and 2 Point Hospital, they now have
some years later I built up a university
they now have a 2 Point Museum coming out. So those of you that like those types of games, very successful, both of them. For what type of games they are. 2 Point Hospital. Did they have 2 Point College or something like that as well? So another 2 Point in the series here. Got a crush on Winona Ryder. Winona. God, I can't. Winona Ryder. I couldn't say her name for a second. Sarge says 2 Point Museum. Good God, why not just sell me a Xanax? Dr. Disrespect is making a comeback soon. Crowded House says, people are excited about Veilguard? When did this happen? Well, they're trying. They're trying to get it. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that's going on here. Coming back and making a comeback are two different things. Well, he's coming back. We don't know if he's making a comeback yet. Oh, yeah. There'll be plenty of people that watch him. There'll be a lot more people that watch him just to hate watch, Jones. There'll be a lot more people that watch him just to hate watch or to see what happens or see what people say. Go on, Sin. Oh yeah, yeah. That's exactly right. At the end of the day, he wins. You gotta monetize the haters, you know. There's people writing stories about the guy with the 444 things now. Or do they show gameplay of Beetlejuice? I wish they would fix that too in multiverses, where I can go up against the bots and complete the season pass and stuff like that, instead of just doing the what are they called? Separate. I forget what they're called. Regions? No, what the hell were they called? Eclipse, you're playing it, right? RoboQuest has DLC? What's the DLC, Ron? That's a great game. RoboQuest is a great game. Doc would probably survive on Patreon, right? He'll be fine on YouTube. What is the thing called in the multiverses when you play against the bots? What is that thing called? It's like the PvE section of it. Rifts, right? That's what they're called, rifts. Just came to my head. Yeah, I wish there was more stuff for that in multiverses, where I'm literally just doing matches up against the NPCs instead of going up head to head and stuff, like it was last year when it was out in beta before they closed it down.
I've never in my life seen.
Okay, I gotta show you this. This is in my feed, right? This is my feed. Okay, so this is a pickup truck being towed on a tow truck on a truck, which this truck is being towed on a truck, which is that's being towed on a truck. Like, what? Right? Like, pickup truck being towed, but the truck is on a 18 or on a, you know, a regular truck, which is being on top of another truck, which is being on top of another truck. What? That's a skilled driver right there. I like the riffs though, Travis, but it's once you do the dailies, there's no really reason to do it unless you complete it. America, explain. There's no real reason to do them anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get any more XP or anything like that. It's very little XP. Oh, real quick, August 20th, we are going to be covering Gamescom. Okay, it's Tuesday, August 20th. So next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, it starts at 2 p.m. Eastern. I got to make arrangements, but we're gonna watch this live here on the channel. Yeah, so we'll do our morning show, and then we'll take a break. I'll have lunch and whatnot, and then I'll start again, and we'll do Gamescom. And I guarantee you Marvel Rivals says their release date then. All right, I think something else is really going on here. Expedition, a Mudrunner game's got a DLC or a patch coming out. That's right, more Jeff Keighley slop. Travis says, Gamescom, that's awesome. Who's ready to see Stalker 2 delayed again? They're adding controller support in Once Human. I haven't touched that game ever. Indiana Jones release date, hopefully uncut gameplay. Yeah, they'll tell you the release date and then they'll push it back to 2025. I hope I'm wrong there. Oh no, Travis, they'll never cancel. They will never cancel Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's there. It will be there forever. Ron says Stalker 2 will be delayed and become Stalker 3. They're like, we just delayed it so much, we decided to just we'll make the prequel to 3 later. Dolphin, I have no interest in Stalker 2. The new gameplay, Dolphin says Stalker 2's new gameplay 2 days ago looks really good. I'm sure. I hope it does. I hope it does well. But delaying it 5 times doesn't say a lot about what the game overall is going to be. I hope it's good. I do. I hope it's good. Look, Overwatch is announcing a character. Or, yeah, Overwatch announced a new character. They know. They're like, we gotta get stuff going here. Marvel Rivals is coming out, and there's a whole bunch of other new hero shooters coming out. Overwatch 2, New Frontiers, Season 12, August 20th. They know it. They're like, we got to get this shit out here. Planet Coaster 2 is going to be at Gamescom. New trademark filed for Dying Light. Here, look at this, right?
So exciting. We have much to discuss. I have seen pictures, but Earth is so much more beautiful in person.
Watch and learn.
New character nobody knows about, and boy would they love some backstory for this character.
There are some people I have been advised to avoid. Mother said all dogs were cute. Perhaps she was mistaken? I'm having trouble keeping track of everyone I meet. They keep changing their appearance. Alright. That one is Mercy. That one is Diva. I'm so bad with names.
I'm sorry, is she skating in midair?
One would be hard. But it looks like I am not the only one starting from zero. Brushing up on one's skills is always a good idea.
Always more to learn.
As the Terrans say, it is party time! My adventure has just begun.
Okay, so now think of this, right? This is a brand new character in Overwatch you have no idea about. You're excited because it's a new character, but you're not excited about the actual character, okay? Now, if this was Marvel, and all of a sudden this was a Black Widow's coming into the game, and you're like, oh, damn! Or they bring in Jean Grey, or they bring in Storm. You know, Storm's already in the game. But if they bring in somebody that people like in Marvel, they would lose their shit. No one's losing their shit for this. No one's losing their shit for this. All right, I'm gonna end the show a little bit early today, and we'll be back tonight to play some Borderlands 2 with Sarge for Shooting the Shit with Sarge tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us out. We're trying to get to the 3,000 subscriber mark here on this channel. Help us out by doing that. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We do appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us in the morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.